Hey, how's it going? I'm Shamal. I'm the owner of Asnani CPA and Fitness Taxes. Today is Friday, April 4th, 2025, so we're about 11 days away from the tax deadline of April 15th. And this has been a pretty exciting tax season for me, and one that just revealed a lot of things for me as well too. Um, People often come to a CPA like myself with kind of this idea that we're gonna do, a lot of creative tax planning and kind of figure out all these loopholes and tax deductions and different ways to save you money on taxes. And we definitely do that, and we definitely do specialize in helping people lower their taxes as much as they possibly can legally. And there's many different strategies to do that, but there's one underrated piece of advice that I think enough people just don't pay attention to. And it sounds really, really obvious, but to me, if you were to ask me what's the most underrated piece of advice when it comes to good tax planning, it's honestly just have good bookkeeping. This is really important, especially when you're a small business owner, especially if you're a personal trainer, a gym owner, or just any kind of small business. People often are thinking about, hey, can I do something like maybe put my car under the business, or can I do these home office deductions, or the Augusta rules, or they'll think about like all these other kinds of depreciation and all these other kind of creative things, and they're all legitimate. Like you can definitely figure out ways to play with that, but like you got to take a really big step back sometimes and just go back to the fundamentals of have good bookkeeping. If you're a personal trainer, an online coach, a gym owner, and you're in the fitness industry, you know how important it is to track your weight, track your calories, track your macros, right? Your protein, your carbs, your fats. That's all data, right? That helps you kind of make decisions. That's exactly what bookkeeping is as well too. You need to track how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, right? At a very fundamental level. You can do this in many different ways. You could go ahead and use a spreadsheet. That's totally fair game, and that's a start. I personally would actually recommend get into a bookkeeping software faster than you think you should. From a workflow standpoint or order of operations, when it comes to having good tax planning, especially when you're a small business owner, you want to think of it this way. Transactions, you categorize those, that gives you good financial statements, that tells you how the business is doing, and those accurate financial statements can then lead to a good tax plan. So before you get super creative and start thinking of all these different types of ways to do good tax planning, take a big step back, make sure you have good bookkeeping. Do not underestimate how important that is. Thank you guys.